Let me bring in Scott Alvarez, who's the former general counsel to the Fed Board of Governors and also a Georgetown law adjunct professor. When you were advising the board, did this question of what constitutes cause ever come up for you?
Well, no, it did not. In fact, this is the first time a president has attempted to remove a governor from the Federal Reserve in the Federal Reserve's history, remove them for cause. So this is a de novo issue for the Federal Reserve.
I'm looking at the government's response filed this morning in court, and one of the arguments that the government attorneys make for the president is that no court has ever extended due process protections for employees to principal officers of the United States. Is she due the kinds of due process protections that we would expect in any other court case?
So that'll be one of the questions the court decides in this case. I would be surprised if the court found a difference between being a common employee of a government agency and being a head of an agency where the question is exactly the same. The question is, can the employee or the principal be removed for cause? Hard to say that for cause means something different, and that the due process rights that go along with that would be different. I would expect the court to lean into Lisa on that one.
And how do you factor in the fact that this all happened before she had her Senate confirmation hearing, before she landed in her current position, that there was this question about her mortgage applications?
Yeah, that's also a central question for today's court. Of course, Lisa is arguing that only conduct after she took over the job should be counted, that it's about inefficiency in office or malfeasance in office or neglect of duty while in office. And of course, the president is saying, no, if you did something bad enough before you got into office, and it just comes up after you get in office, that's good enough for cause.
And Scott, the fact that she has named Jerome Powell and the entire Board of Governors in this suit, presumably because they could, in fact, at some point decide to follow up on the president's desire to fire her, how do you factor them being named as defendants?
I think you got it exactly right. Cook needed to name Powell and the board in order to be able to get an injunction that says Powell and board don't follow the president's letter. So I think that's the sole reason. It's not because there's any rift between Cook and Powell or rift between Cook and the rest of the board. It's a legal strategic move in order to get the injunction.
But if the Fed does an investigation and feels that she did commit mortgage fraud, are they obligated to ask for her to step down?
So only the president can remove a governor. So having the inspector general involved would be unusual in this kind of case because there's no action the board could take based on the Inspector General's investigation. The best that could happen from the Inspector General's point of view is they could make a criminal referral, but that's already been done. So I would expect that the Inspector General wouldn't be involved in this one.
Scott, I keep coming back to this line that the vice president gave to USA Today this week, and I'll read it. I don't think that we allow bureaucrats to sit from on high and make decisions about monetary policy and interest rates without any input from the people that were elected to serve the American people. That struck me as a pretty significant leap, the way the administration views monetary policy, that it should be sort of subject to sort of popular vote.
Yeah, I think that, from the beginning, President Trump and Vice President Vance have both believed that the president should be in control of monetary policy, and that reflects the view of the people, because the people elect the president. On the other hand, the Fed was created to be independent of the political process, and it does accept information from the public, and it does get the views of the public. The president's been clear about what he wants to do. Congressmen have been clear about what they want the Fed to do. The Fed is balancing the data that's coming in, the economic data, to make a good decision. But I don't think it's right to say that the Fed doesn't hear what everybody wants. It's just everybody wants something different, something that's best for them.
Scott Alvarez, it's good of you to share your experience with us. Thank you.